Namaskar friends, this is NJ, host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on a very important concept of Vedic astrology, which is going to be getting deep inside your accumulated karma in this lifetime. And most importantly, how you're going to deal with your karma and what impact your accumulated karma is going to have in your life. So this is going to be the central element of our today's discussion. And friends, in order to understand this concept, we are going to take into consideration the D10 chart or the Dasamsa chart as well. So friends, at the time when we were having our discussion on the different ascendants in the D10 chart or the placement of Saturn in the D10 chart, I already gave you the signification or the importance of the D10 chart. Like, the good part about our Vedic astrology is that whichsoever area of life you want to get more elaborative clarity, so we have the connected corresponding Varga charts or divisional charts for that particular purpose. So I mean to say, let's say for example, in your main ascendant chart or the Rashi chart, if 10th house tells about your ambition, your professional endeavors, status, fame, popularity. So in today's day and age, when we have so many elaborative career options available, so many people who are working with their skill, freelance, they are working from home, and in all those professions where the prospects of public acknowledgement, public acceptance and fame qualifies, so it becomes very important to get elaborative information that what exactly is going to be happening in your professional front or your if you want to get an idea about your karmas, your deeds in this lifetime, like with how much capacity you're going to perform your duties, how much recognition you're going to receive out of all of your performed duties. So if you will open up the 10th house of your main ascendant chart or Rashi chart, you will get the D10 chart, which can be looked at in a way that it is the 10th division of your Rashi chart from the main ascendant chart. So friends, the moment you're going to open the D10 chart, so this chart exclusively tells about your karma. This chart exclusively tells about your deeds only. Because when we were looking at the main ascendant chart, this chart tells about overall foundation of our life. Some part of our life in the main ascendant chart we share with our sibling, with our spouse, with different aspirations of the life. But the D10 chart is exclusively reserved for your deeds, your endeavors in this lifetime. And the way you have to scrutinize this D10 chart, so the approach is very simple. First of all, individually, you have to look at which is the ascendant or the Varga, like the Vargesh, we call it a Varga. I mean to say, in this D10 chart, which Rashi is rising on the D10 chart. That is the one thing which you have to see. The second thing is that the natural Karaka or significator of the D10 chart is the planet Saturn. Whenever we talk about attaining greatness, anything substantial, anything big, anything concrete, where power is involved, where lasting fame is involved, you need to get the support of Saturn. So the second entity which you have to look at, the D10 chart, is definitely going to be the planet Saturn. And the things which you have to extract from your main ascendant chart are going to be what is the state of your main ascendant lord in the D10 chart. And the second thing is that in your main ascendant chart, your 10th house lord, its placement you have to look at in the D10 chart. So I will again clarify it. So for example, someone who has got a Aries ascendant in the main ascendant chart. So the only entities which will be extracted from the main ascendant chart is going to be the ascendant lord, which is the planet Mars. You have to see in the D10 chart. And the 10th house lord, which is becoming planet Saturn. You have to look at its placement in the D10 chart. So that is something, friends, which we have already discussed in previous videos, which you know about. Now here in this video, what we will try to do is that you have to also understand this thing, that how your overall life is going to help you or is going to contribute towards dealing with your karma. And friends, when we talk about the concept of karma, so our birth in this lifetime, our current conditions in this lifetime, our personality traits, our tendencies, our acquired talents, everything has to do with our karma, our deeds, our actions done in all the past lifetimes. The only one way to get out of this cycle of karma, which I always say on my this channel, which I have learned for my guru, or like with my worship and dedication towards Lord Shiva, is completely devote yourself or completely get out of this mode of doer. Till the time you will have even 0.001 percentage of association with your actions, so trust me, you will still remain entangled in the cycle of karma, whether in the form of you're doing good deeds or you're doing bad deeds. You are still entangled in this cycle of karma. But the moment you will just completely surrender yourself to the divine will, you will only see yourself as a divine medium, and all the fruits and everything you will devote and dedicate only to the divine. So trust me, no matter what kind of actions you are conducting, you are out of this entanglement or cycle of the karma. But now here our main objective is to try to understand how our life is equipped enough to deal with our karma, or in which regards the karma or our accumulated deeds or the account of our karma is going to impact our life. So that is something, friends, which we will try to understand in this video, and I'm definitely going to take one example via which I'm going to make you understand this concept. So the example which I wanted to pick up has to be of someone who is like already in the peak of their chosen field, who has attained greatness even while the person is still alive, and this person is respected all over the world. So it was a very difficult choice to make, because trust me, no matter how much this person has done good deeds, you like that person, but still there is going to be a section of people who will still dislike that person. So I just do not want it to get into controversy. My objective as a facilitator, as a teacher, is just to train you guys, rather than getting into any kind of like controversy or favorism. So the example which I am taking right now is of like German Chancellor Angela Merkel, because we are talking about the greatness or substantial accomplishment or achievement in this lifetime. So friends, the moment you're going to have a look at the Lagna chart or the main ascendant chart, you will see that she is born with Scorpio ascendant. So trust me, rising to such a position and power, and like in her case, she was she has a doctorate in quantum chemistry as well, and she was a research scientist before formally entering into politics. So I mean to say, when we talk about anything connected with politics, facing a severe criticism, strong dedication, fighting spirit, somehow all of these qualities and traits could be attached with Scorpio. So she is born with Scorpio ascendant, and where the ascendant lord has gone, her ascendant lord has gone to the second house, where Mars and Rahu are also conjunct. So definitely her life has always been surrounded by enemies, competition, threat, diplomacy, politics, secret enemies, and most importantly, the conjunction of Mars and Rahu in the second house makes and grants someone a very fiery speech. Now friends, her moon is of this Capricorn sign, and we all know that everything gets processed through our moon only. So your moon sign has to be very solid, very practical, very realistic, so that we can fairly see with her moon sign as being Capricorn. And friends, you will see that in the 10th house we have Venus present over there, and moreover, and the most importantly, her Saturn is exalted in the 12th house. So when we talk about fighting spirit, good humanitarian intentions, so all of that you can see with the placement of Saturn in the 12th house. Now friends, the objective which we are going to follow in this video is that we already understood this reference ascendant chart, which gave us information about overall and complete life of this person. So you must have been knowing all the nitty-gritty of your chart. You know the 10th house lord's placement, everything. So that was the first step. The second step is now opening up the D10 chart. So now the moment we are going to open the D10 chart in this reference case, for example, now we will see that her ascendant is Aquarius in the D10 chart. So that in itself, the first like approach towards deciphering any divisional chart is that just by looking at the ascendant you will get to know about the overall theme of that specific area of the life. So that in itself tells about humanitarian intentions. The second thing is that if you will see in the D10 chart, her ascendant lord is very much strengthened in the 12th house. So trust me, no matter whatsoever you see on the surface, she is already one of the most, not one of the, she is the most powerful woman right now in the world, and you do not even know to the extent of powerful people who already support her. So we can fairly see that with the conjunction of Ketu, Mars and Saturn, that too in her 12th house, and along with that Jupiter present in the 11th house just tells about the kind of following, kind of respect which she commands all over the world. So that is something, friends, which we could have seen or assessed from the D10 chart. So now what we did is that we get to know about the personality of the person, we get to know about the karma, about the endeavors, about the deeds, about this person. Now we have to overlap and we have to study how her complete life is approaching and has dealt with her karmas, and we have to see how her karma has influenced her life. So friends, the approach which you have to use, which you will definitely going to be using in your own charts after this video as well, so that is very simple. Now what you have to do is that the first approach is that you got to know about the ascendant of this reference example, that she is born with Scorpio as her ascendant in the main Rashi chart or in the main D1 chart. So now what you have to do is that you will keep the chart, or you will draw the chart with Scorpio as the ascendant, and you will only place the planetary alignments which you will pick from her D10 chart. So in this case, the reference example as you are seeing in your screen, which is about Rashi Tulya Varga, which means impact of your karma on your overall life. So now what you have to do is that you have drawn a chart with your main ascendant placement over there with the main rising sign which will remain intact. Now what you have to do is that you will just have to pick up the planetary alignments and placement in your D10 chart, and you will start placing it over your this created D1 chart, the Rashi Tulya Varga chart. So if you will try to do that, you will get that in her case, her Mercury and Venus in the D10 chart were placed in the Scorpio sign. So we are going to place the Mercury and Venus in this Rashi Tulya Varga in the first house. Jupiter was placed in the Sagittarius sign in the 11th house of her D10 chart. So now you are going to place the Jupiter in the second house. So while placing all of that, friends, now in this chart you will try to understand how the deep, intricate, consolidated information of her deeds, of her karma impacted her personality, impacted her life. So if you will look at it, you will get Mercury, Venus in the first house. So definitely her deeds, her actions in this society has made her personality, has made her aura very friendly, very very amicable. And not only that, just because when you represent a country, so you also, your deeds, your actions, your personality also colors the image of your country which you are representing at the same time. So all the things which has few decades back has tainted the image of Germany because of one dictator. So because of this contribution and this efforts and highly respectable deeds and decision making of Angela Merkel, that has also impacted in a positive, in a friendly way, not only her persona but at the same time of her country's image at the same time. Now friends, if you will see that her efforts, her karma has actually gave her lot of good merits, lot of good virtues because of the Jupiter's placement in the second house. And we all know the end result of all of her actions and all of her decision making resulted in making her and giving her, granting her more and more and more power, which you can fairly see with the placement of Mars, Saturn and Ketu in her third house of power, courage and valor. Her moon is now present in the sixth house, so that has in itself taught her how to ferociously and very competitively fight and tackle any of your enemies. And friends, with this particular combination, see, it's like when we talk about astrology, it is a highly spiritual science. So you can fairly see with the placement of now sun, which is a sole significator for everyone. With sun's placement in the now in the 5th house also tells about some of the good deeds accumulated by the soul in this lifetime. And friends, if you will look at her 9th house, where Rahu is placed in the Cancer sign. So for Rahu, the placement in the 9th house can be seen as the Mandakaraka Avastha or placement for Rahu. So which can be decoded in a way that within her Christian Democratic Union Party, there might have been some sections or some people which might not have been very happy with her actions, but whatsoever she did, and all of her actions and endeavors, the way it impacted or affected her life or her persona, you can fairly see with this particular concept which I just taught you. So that is very simple. All what you have to do is that you will open up your main ascendant chart, Rashi chart. Then you will open up your D10 chart. Now if you want to understand how your deeds, your actions are purely going to impact your life in this lifetime, so all what you have to do is that in your main ascendant chart, ascendant will remain like that. So the subsequent and the houses are going to get the same Rashi as per the ascendant, that will get decided. Now you will not place any planet over there. Planetary placement will get determined and decided on the basis of in which zodiac sign planets are placed in the D10 chart, and those particular placements will be put in your main D1 chart. That is going to give us this information. So friends, that was one side of the coin. Now if you want to understand how her personality, how her complete persona approached her karma or her deeds or her profession, so for that all what you have to do is that now we will draw another chart which will be categorized as Varga Tulya Rashi, which is going to give you this information how your life deals with your karma. So now what you have to do over here is that, see, in this reference example, the person has got her D10 like ascendant lord, D10 Varga as the Aquarius. So you will keep in the D10 chart, you will keep the ascendant whatsoever your ascendant is in the D10 chart, and you will not place any planet over there. Planetary alignments will get determined on the basis of where the planets are placed in the main ascendant chart, and you will pick up those planetary sign placement and you will start placing it in the empty D10 chart. So now friends, if you will see over here, you will fairly find that in her 5th house, Jupiter, Ketu, Mercury are placed over there. So the way she dealt her karma, there was lot of intellect, lot of wisdom which was involved over there. She might have faced a lot of criticism initially. People in authority or power might have tried to undermine her, which we can fairly see with her son getting little bit emotionally drained in the 6th house of obstacles. Now friends, the good part in her case was that she got the support of the public, got the support of the world because of the Venus's placement in the 7th house. And in order to do anything good or anything big, not only you need the support of luck, but at the same time big concrete achievements are only get promised by the planet Saturn. So you can see that Saturn is getting exalted in the 9th house of fortune, of luck. And if you will see over here that in her 11th house, that with the placement of Mars and Rahu conjunct over there, so that also tells about her fighting spirit with her highest of the aspirations while dealing with her professional matters. And with the placement of Moon in the 12th house, so she already had this vision for the world and she always was very much concerned for the good of the downtrodden. So that is something friends which I wanted to tell you. So again friends, I do not want to get into any political debate or any difference of opinion. The whole objective of this reference example was that in order to teach you or train you how to deal with or how to overlap these two important areas or aspects of your life. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for understanding the impact of karma in your life and the way you are going to deal with your karma. And for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. and like my Facebook page. Thank you.